How's it going, folks? Well, the chaos never ends. So today, you talk about chaotic. But being an elementary school teacher on the day of Christmas break of the half day, mercy. That's chaotic. But then, cows are out. I knew it when I let them out the other night. I knew it'd happen because there were places where there wasn't power. There were places where old fence wasn't tied into new fence. But as you can tell, this isn't normally what I farm in. We're going to Abingdon, Virginia tonight to the Barter Theater to go watch a Christmas play. My family does that every year. It's became a tradition that we always go. But the cows are out. So, you know, you gotta go drop everything and take care of what's going on. So I've got my nice jeans tucked in muck boots, and I'm gonna try and cover up the rest of me with some coveralls and a Carhartt jacket and try to get things taken care of before I go. But the fence that does have power on it is working very well. But there's a section of the old fence up, if you watched the last video, there's a section of the old fence that's not tied in to the fence that does have power, and that's the section that's got all the trees on it. It's a mess, absolute mess. So I'm not surprised I'm in this situation. Well, it's pouring the snow up here. Got up here and there were two in the road, and I just opened the gate and they just followed me in there. I'm gonna see if there's about 5 up here in the yard. I'm gonna see if I can't just open the gate here and them just follow me in there. I know if I had a bucket, I know they would. But I don't have a bucket down here with me. Let's see what happens. Hopefully if I leave this open, these gals won't just walk out. Hopefully not. Let's see what happens here. Would have been smart to put a jacket on. Woo! Let's see. Oh, nope. I see what's happening now. These others think that means to follow me out the gate. Not cool. Nope. Sorry, girls. I'll come in another way. I'll get me a bucket of grain and bring these through the other gap. I got girls walking around all over the place. But I'm thinking they might just follow me right in through the spring gap up here. And I'll get them in here, and then I'll let them out the back of the pen and put them in the field out there. But then these are trying to come this way too. So it's a mess. It's a mess. I don't know what's going to be the best thing here. They did just follow me right up here, though. Come on, girls. Come on. See if they won't just follow me out over here. There they are. Dang, it's getting cold. This might not be a good time to be. Well, one went in, 2 went in. Might not be the smartest time to be traveling to Abingdon tonight, but we should be all right. Let's go, girls. Come on. Whoop. Come on. Let's go. There they go. Got stinking cold this week. Let's go, girls. Come on. Whoop. Come on. My luck may have ended. I don't know. Let's go. If I had a bucket, I tried to push my luck and just come without one. Come on, girls. Woo! Come on. I know. You did this to yourselves. Here they come. Everybody's getting covered in white. It's pouring. Let's go. Now, as long as these don't try to. Let's go, girls. There we go. Come on. Woo! Come on, oldie. Ah, crud. Let's go. Come on. They don't like walking on that big old rock. I'll push those girls in here. Don't you follow me. Go on in there. Go on. Let's go. Oh, mercy. Hateful, scary cows. Get your butt in there with the rest of everybody else. Come on. There we go. All right, y'all got water, you got hay. You should be good to go. Should be. Problem is, there's power on this, but it stops down there at the gate that I was at. There's no power going on out that way because the power's supposed to go up around there, and that section up there is where the fence has got the tree on it that I was showing the last time. It's supposed to come down and then connect to a gap right here and go out around the edge and then out that way. But when I started feeding night before last night, they were out past the bridge. They were in the fence, but they were out past the bridge going towards the brown place, and I fed in this field here, and they were on the other side of the fence though. They were not in this field here, and so I opened this gap up here to let them come in during the day, and somewhere along the line those 5 or whatever had found where the fence was not hot and went through it. But hopefully they will stay for till tomorrow sometime, because tomorrow I've got some time to come up and I will get the rest of these little places patched up till hopefully we won't have this problem anymore. But it is time to go to the theater. Theater, oh theater. Well, it is the day after what you saw there a little bit ago. We made it to the play last night. Everything went super smoothly. It was a good time with the family and good play. Um, so today, gonna try and fix a few things. So it is a little breezy, so I put my little furry thing on the mic. So hopefully that'll pick stuff up just a little bit better. The cows stayed in overnight. They're in that field out there that I put them in last night. So what I'm going to do is real quick, I'm going to swap over the hay spear. I'm going to take it off of Josh's new tractor, put it on the older tractor that was flooded. It's having some clutch issues. If it doesn't get ran, the clutch tries to start to freeze up and slips a little bit. So I'm just going to start feeding with it. That way it's getting ran more often. I start it and let it run every evening that I'm here, but that's not enough. It needs to be moving. So I'm going to swap that over, and I'm going to put the grapple back on his because I need to move some brush around out here in this field that they're in where a big walnut had fallen. I need to move that out of the way. And then the last thing I'm going to do, because I don't have a ton of time, as always, I had to do some Christmas shopping on my way up here today. But out there in that field, there's a couple spots that I need to fix. There's a couple places where some insulators are broken, a couple places where there's not an insulator at all, and then where I tied the fence, the old fence, into the new fence. I need to do some adjusting there so that the power will be going all the way around that field. But I'll take you all along with me, and hopefully we won't have the same issue that we had yesterday again, I hope. Hello, girls. I can already tell this was a bad decision. I am going to get lit up right here before too long. I'm going to have to pull it real quick. Maybe it won't get me. I'm going to have to change that up, though, for sure. It is nice to have a gate here, though, instead of the little thing that I had going on before. Don't you follow me around here. Yeah, see, this thing is I let the clutch out. Sometimes it doesn't want to do anything. There we go. She needs a little work, I'm afraid. But it's running, so it could be worse. I better shut that behind me. I'm not in the mood to try and catch cows today. Well, may have picked the wrong activity for today. Been thinking I was going to try something new and start trying to roll this hay out up here. I tried the other night and I couldn't get that one to unroll, so it unrolled a little bit and then I just left it where it was at. I don't know if this stuff will unroll either, but it should. Just hope I don't run out of room and it goes down there and hits the fence or something. The problem I was running into the other night was, having it situated the right way to unroll. Right, which now they're in the way. It looks like it might unroll. You better watch out, girls. Yeah, it's going to unroll and that cow's going to get hit. They better move. Yeah, worked out real good. Still didn't run and roll all the way, but that's going to help from having such a mess. And some of these old cows, uh, so there's some in here that we bought new last year, and then there's some that were left over from the herd that we kind of hit the reset button on. And when it comes to eating, they don't all quite get along. Uh, oh, yeah, fell out. Um, so now they're doing better this year than they were last year. But when the newer cows first got here, they tended to bully around the older cows and not let them eat. So this will give everybody a little bit more room to get them some grub. It is not going to, be the best way to save hay. I am going to waste just a little bit, but it'll help the grass doing it this way. I've been thinking about just buying an unroller, and if I bought an unroller, I could really help turn around that field out there from where it's so overgrazed, and I'm thinking I might just pull the trigger on it and do it, because I could just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and really cover up some of that area down there that's just, the flood ruined it. There's places where there's just a bunch of mud now, and then having them in there for so long and them overgrazing it, I think that would really help it. Those unrollers are so expensive. They're more than I want to spend, but might be my best option. Which, being right here with all these hills, there's plenty of places to just go to the top of the hill and let it unroll, but in that section out there, it's flat. Kind of limited on what I can do. Whereas if I had an unroller, I could unroll it out going towards the other field out behind Riverview. I could do feeding a whole bunch of different areas and keep it from getting so nasty. That's what ruined this section down in here. Is it stays real wet down in here. For one, there's a spring that comes up over here, and then you've got all this water that runs down from the hillside and comes down in this low spot and stays, and so this stays real soupy. But the issue is Dad always liked to feed in this field. Why, I don't know, but he did. And the tractor that he would feed with, the smaller tractor that we've got, you've seen in a couple videos, and the most recent one was me trying to pull it on the trailer down at the corn maze. It's got those industrial tires on it, not ag tires like this. They're more blocky and flat tread, and it would not make it up this hill. Like on a day like today, where it would probably make it up now, but if it gets any muddier than what it is right now, it will not make it up this hill. And then, so once that happens, he was stuck having to feed down here in this bottom because he couldn't make it up the hill. And it would get so rutted out. It's just a mess. So I want to try and not do that this year. And I was guilty for it last year too. I did the same type of junk. I would move the hay ring around, but it still left big marred up places. I'm thinking, and I might even buy one before the year's up and put it on this year's taxes, honestly. If I could find one at a pretty decent price in the next week, I wouldn't be against go ahead and getting one. But anyways, we'll go on to the next thing. I'm going to go grab the four-wheeler and come out here and work on this fence, like I said earlier. I'm not even going to latch this back. And we'll get some power rolling out through here, so maybe they'll just stay. Oh man, the heat is working in this tractor, and it feels great in here. I'm going to have to figure that fan problem out in the other tractor because, man, what a difference heat makes. That should do it. Let's go give it a test and make sure. All right, let's see here. Yep, we are working. Awesome. So, just talked to David. Well, I didn't talk to Brantley. Brantley was over there, but just talked to David, and they're going to try and use the grapple here too to get some of this metal up from down here around this brush pile. It sounds like the county's going to try and come pick some of that up and haul it off for us, but we got to get it from this pile up to the edge of the road, and they're going to bring a truck up that's got a claw on the back of it and pick up the metal and haul it off. So that would be extremely helpful. And there is more metal on out here that I need to get to. But I don't have time for that today, so that might be. Josh can. He's been able to drive this tractor with his big brace on because this one you don't really have to use the clutch where it's got the shuttle shift. So that might be something he could come up and do while he's piddling one day, maybe. But I'm going to get this pulled over here out of the way, and I'm going to have to top it off with some hydraulic fluid. It's got a little bit of a leak, and now I got to put it in gear. That's the problem. It's got a little bit of a hydraulic leak, and so it's running just a little bit low, and hydraulics are a little slow. So I'm going to do that in case David and Brantley end up grabbing it the next day or so and need to use it. It'll be topped off and ready for them. And then I'll go grab the four-wheeler and we'll work on a little fence before heading home. So I just had an epiphany. You know, instead of reinventing the wheel here and going all the way out through here, because there's a long distance here where the only thing that has insulators on it is the top wire. Instead of going all the way out through here and fixing all that and putting insulators on all three, I'm just going to cut where the three wires are tied together and just make the top wire be hot. These girls are, if it's got power on it, they don't mess with it. If they touch their nose to that top wire, we'll be okay. I think I'm just going to spend my time, instead of tying this, right now, this spring gap is tied to the middle wire. I think I'm going to switch that and just have it be connected to power on the top wire. and just go out through there and make sure the top wire's hot. Turn the fence on. Since I've got limited time, and I'm going to be this winter when I find time that the cow's going through that brush. Oh, she's scratching her butt. That's what she's doing. I'm going to be replacing this fence along the top here with more high tensile, and that's going to happen in the next, couple months, as long as the ground's not frozen and we can get posts in. So I don't want to have to dump any more money into this than I have to, and I can save those insulators for another day. I think this will work perfect. So I'm going to change plans and do that now. This old spring gate has been through a lot. It would be so much simpler just to put in a new one, but the plan is probably going to be to put 3 right here like I did everywhere else. So for right now, I'm just going to make this one work, and one of these days in the next week or so, I'll come up here and put 3 up like I did everywhere else. We'll make it look a whole lot better. It's kind of hurtful to look at all this other fence that's so nice and clean looking, and then got this old junky stuff up here along the top, but I guess that's part of it. Not everybody's going to have fence that's perfect everywhere, and Lord knows I do not. Far from it, actually. I wonder if this would be long enough to reach. Yeah, that'll reach without even putting a little extra piece on it. So I'll tie me some wire onto that and then jump it over to the top wire here, and we'll be good to go. Let's see. I'm going to take that spring off there so I've got a little bit easier place to work. Wish I had a vise mounted to the four-wheeler. That would be handy. Okay. Give myself plenty of wire. That is not ideal, but as long as that stays looped around that pole and doesn't touch it, should be okay. We'll see what happens when I plug it up here, though. Doesn't look like anything's touching here. All right. Well, I'll go out around the fence here and check this top wire and make sure it's not grounded out anywhere. Go grab my checker and come out here and check the voltage on it and see how it is. I know for a fact it's going to get grounded out down at the very end, and I'm going to need to do some work out there where it ties into the new fence. I'm going to have to put an insulator on it out there, so I'm going to go ahead and unhook this so in case I do need to touch it on out through here, I don't get electrocuted. Well, I got all this finished along the top line here. I had a bunch of places where the briars had kind of grown up in the wire, a couple other places where the insulators were broken or gone or something like that. It's definitely not pretty. It's not as pretty as the rest of it, that's for sure. But it is going to be somewhat functional. I hope. I do have another section here going down towards the river it's got a lot of junk in it too. But I'm going to go through there. It's already like 3:30. I'd get to go pick up some groceries at Walmart for Maddie at, I think, 4. So I'm going to have to start going through here and getting things ready to go. This next little section down through here, I can get that done tomorrow afternoon. Well, not tomorrow afternoon, Monday afternoon. But they seem pretty content. There is some grass in here still, and they've got 2 mirror fountain water tanks in this pasture here too that they can drink from, and a roll of hay out now too. So I'm gonna just go ahead and leave them where they are and hope that they're still in here whenever I come up on Monday. But we will catch you on the next one. Don't know that I'll have time to do this before Christmas or not. If I don't, though, Merry Christmas to all of you. The ones of you that have helped us out this year. This year would not have been the same without you. We just can't express how thankful we are and appreciative that we've had the help that we've had, because we would be in a mess of hurt without you. So I do appreciate that. Let's hope that next year is better than this one. This one wasn't awful until it got to about the end of September. And then it turned awful. But Happy New Year to all of you, and a Merry Christmas to you too. And hopefully you get to spend some time with your families, and hopefully I'll have time to do the same. So we'll see you on the next one.